How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the House of Business podcast. This is your host, Caleb Thompson, and this is the place where we give you the knowledge and tools to execute your dreams and visions. Today, we're going to have a good one for you. But first off, I would like to thank everyone for watching these videos. As I usually say, and I usually do, I try to make it my primary statement, my number one statement, to be thankful and grateful for everyone that supports this channel, for everyone that listens to these videos, and also that enjoys these videos as well. But today we're going to have one. It's going to be called The Art of Starting Over. The Art of Starting Over. I know it's plenty of times in your life where you had to start over, but we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go a little bit deeper into starting over, kind of unlearning certain mindsets, certain things that we've been taught growing up, certain mindsets and aspects of life that needs to be rewired. You can rewire your brain to thinking like a millionaire. You can rewire your brain to thinking, like I hate to say this, but as a poor person or as a bum. So you can rewire your mind or your way of thinking and train your way of thinking and maintain that way of thinking, either for growth or for backwardness, wherever. You have to, once you start to gain ground, you need to keep it, and continue to build upon that foundation of that changed mind. The art of starting over. Now we're going to have 3 points. I usually have 3 points. Sometimes I have three to five. Just depends. It just varies on the time that I have. I really don't have that much time. We're out here in Harlem. So shout out to Harlem. Also, I would like to give a shout out to the New York Cosmos. The New York Cosmos was a historical team that was discontinued, but is now making its way back to the United Soccer League. I believe they're in the United Soccer League 1, Division 1. They're in another division. It's not the major one, but they just made their way back to the Cliff Stadium that's in Patterson, New Jersey. So I want to give a shout out to the New York Cosmos as well. They're going to build a great team. I actually had a chance to go to the press conference that was in Patterson, I believe a couple days ago, and it was amazing. It was amazing. The mayor of Patterson was there. The governor of New Jersey was there. The CEO of the team. They also had the head of soccer that was there, which was a phenomenal soccer player. He played with many teams like Manchester United. And everything all the way up from, restoration development coordinator to investors. It was amazing. Amazing press conference. But shout out to the New York Cosmos. I know they're going to do great starting next year. I believe they go on the field around March next year, March or May, one of them. But you guys can, there is merch available for the New York Cosmos, this phenomenal team that made a comeback. There's merch available. You can contact someone that's with their football club and check that out and get some of that merch and some tickets as well. Okay, so the art of starting over. Number one, we're going to talk about what does it mean to start over. And this is my definition, man. Starting over really means to reset you and to reprogram your default settings. To start over doesn't mean that I'm just going to leave everything and I'm just going to go to another place. There's been many of times that I've been in a location, I've left different apartments, homes, just depending on the situation that I was in, and actually leaving a lot of things behind and going to a new place. That wasn't really starting over. We're starting over. If you really want to start over, it is a mental transition that needs to take place, because you can take the same old you to a brand new location and I promise you will get the same result. You will get the same result. If you are the same immature person in your new relationship that you were in your last relationship, if you didn't learn anything, if you didn't apply anything from those experiences, if you don't know how to hold yourself accountable, if you don't know how to, like I said, take accountability for your actions, things you've done and things you haven't done, you are going to take the same old person to a new relationship and ruin that one as well. Or even if that person is able, that woman or that man is able to handle that baggage that you bring, that emotional baggage that maybe they're able to carry it. But what you're doing is you are affecting something that's that was meant to flourish or to move forward, and vice versa. You don't want to slow anybody down. You don't want to be a weight to anyone else. And you don't want anyone else to be a weight to you in this life. So basically what I'm saying is, when you start over, starting over is a mental mindset, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, but at the core of all this is spiritual, but it's a mental change. It's a mental change that needs to take place for that new beginning to last. So I want you to know that. What does it mean to start over? To start over to me means to reset, but not only to reset, but to reprogram your default settings. That means this: your default settings is anything that you go back to when you hit a brick in the wall. So just say that I'm starting my journey as an entrepreneur. I hit a brick in the wall. I hit a brick, you know what I mean? A brick wall, a brick in the wall, a brick wall. I hit a brick wall. And then my default settings kick in. Or either I can reprogram or rewire my mind to a new setting. That means this: the more that you do something over and over again, it becomes a default setting. But a lot of times when people feel pressure, when people feel, frustrated, irritated, any types of these social pressures or these pressures of life, they revert back to their default setting. Have you ever been, just say, a Hispanic woman? She's nice. She's talking proper. She's in the office. As soon as someone pisses her off, now she's cussing them out in Spanish. That means that she just reverted back to her default settings. Like she went back to where she grew up and what's at the core of her. Not saying that she's a bad person, but she started to speak, and she got so frustrated she started to speak in Spanish. That means that's her default settings. Someone else, I've seen this plenty of times. Excuse the sirens. We have an opening here where I'm recording at, and you can hear outside. So, we're in New York City too. So you got to know you're gonna hear a siren every now and then. I'm not in the closed office at the moment, so just don't mind that. But also, it's been plenty of times that I've been around other groups of people. It is not their natural. I would say business is my second language. But when I grew up in the hood. I grew up with a strict style of raising. But when I hit a brick wall, or when the pressures hit me, I revert back to my default settings. And everyone gets irritated, frustrated, but there's certain things that you do that you have to relearn, or you have to reprogram your mind not to do once you hit those frustrations in life. But you need to reprogram your mindset, your default settings, the way that you think in those situations. Find a way to think differently. And then we're gonna go over a couple the stigma of starting over. You know what I mean? The stigma of starting over basically comes from, I got three things. One of them is cultural pressures. The stigmas of starting over really comes from, society praises consistency, stability, long-term commitments. Even those things that, even those things that make us miserable. But as long as you're consistent, as long as it looks like stability, society, it praises those things. Do you not know that you can consistently be going down a downward spiral, or you can consistently be in a bad relationship, but because of the pressures of the world, you don't want anyone to think your relationship failed. So you stay in a bad relationship, or you stay in a bad business deal, so you don't feel like a failure, but every day you're regretting it. Those are one of the stigmas is the cultural pressure. It's okay to start over. Number two is social media. And there's this illusion in social media that everyone looks like they have it together. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a businessman, so I market my business, and you have to have a mindset as if you have to be the person who you have to operate in the same mindset as the person who is already in the future. That means your future self, you have to think of you being where you want to be, but operate like you're already there. That's basically what I'm saying. So even though I may market a company or some e-commerce, I might market these things, but in my mind, I'm already where I need to be. I'm not sitting here day by day trying to get to where I need to be. I'm already him. I'm already a millionaire. I'm already a billionaire. I'm already a business owner. I already run 26 companies. I already know how to delegate. You know what I mean? I already have donate to charities internationally. I already do these things. So I'm not sitting here trying to develop and become the person that I'm like every day I'm working towards becoming this person. I'm already that person, and that person is just being revealed day by day as I continue to study, as I continue to move in that direction. But that I'm already that guy. I'm just basically peeling the layers back. I'm just clearing the smoke. I'm just basically knocking the dust off. I'm basically removing the pieces of coal to reveal the diamond. I'm already the person that I see myself as. You know, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to act, think, look, speak, have the mindset of a millionaire. But you have to know that you are already that person. And all society is doing, all you are doing is revealing that person, not only to yourself but to society. You're already that person. I don't have the time to try to think I'm chasing a image or chasing somebody that I want to be. I'm already him. I'm not sitting here like, you know what I mean? People say, oh, you know, this guy's prideful. This guy has an ego. That's not having an ego. That's basically being confident in who you know you were created to be. Some people know that they're not even supposed to be working a 9-to-5 job, but they're sitting there working that job because they're scared to jump out and build the business that, you know, God put in their heart to build. They just feel like, oh, if I miss one payment, I can lose my house. Man, you have to jump out there, man. You have to jump out there and be who you're supposed to be, regardless of what battle comes with that. You will never reveal who you truly are. You will never come out of mediocrity unless you jump, man. You got to jump, man. You can't be scared. You can't be a coward. If you know that you're supposed to be running 2 or 3 salons, but you're working a 9-to-5, that's what you chose to do. Now, when someone else comes along and they start to live your dream because they went through the sacrifices, they went through the upsets, they went through the betrayal and the mockery, and they continue to move forward towards that dream, you don't have the right to hate on that person. You have the right to hate yourself for not taking a chance on yourself. No one owes you nothing. If you're gonna take a chance on someone, I take a chance on yourself. If this is the life that you chose and this is what you want to do, you make sure you do it to the best of your ability and don't regret it. But if you are in a place in your life where you have regrets, you can change that. And one way that you can change that is figuring out who you're supposed to be, who do you want to be, and take steps towards bringing that person to life. It's basically like this: the person that you're supposed to be, so he's already inside you. She's already inside you. As soon as you make the decision towards I'm going to reveal this person who I have this image of, because 9 times out of 10, I can't imagine anything that I'm really not, or really don't feel like that I am. So whatever you feel like you are, or whatever within your mind that you feel like that you can do, that's who you truly are and who you truly are supposed to be. I can't think of me owning 3 Italian pizza shops because it's just not in me to do that. That's not my dream, and that's not. If I think, okay, let's put it like this. And this is something that I went through with a mentor. I had a mentor that was in New York who came back from Berlin. It was with score.com, free mentor service. That's another one. If you're an up and coming entrepreneur and you need a mentor, just say, I need a mentor in business. I don't really know about finances. I don't really know about, just say marketing. I don't really know about sales strategies. They will, it's www.score, S-C-O-R-E, score.com will give you link you up with a free mentor that's in your area. All these people are skilled in business. All of these people have probably had businesses for 20 years, sold their business for $100 million, but these are free mentors to help you in your entrepreneurial journey. So I had a mentor, and this is one thing that he, asked me. What he asked me was this. He basically said that if you could be anybody that you wanted to be in this world, and there was no way possible that you could fail, like don't think of, I don't have the money, or I wasn't raised in the right neighborhood, or my family, or I have haters, I have setbacks, I don't know how to do. Don't think of any of that. If you could be anybody that you wanted to be, live any type of life that you wanted to live, and it was no way you could fail at accomplishing it, what would you be? what would you be doing right now? And once I said that, and he said, that's the person you're supposed to be. Now, all you have to do is understand that that person that you're supposed to be, that version of you, is already in the inside of you. You just have to take the steps towards peeling back the layers and revealing that person day by day, bringing him out of the grave, bringing him out of the dirt, bringing him out of the rubble. So that person is on the inside of you. And one way to do that is to get rid of comparison. That's number one. There's a difference between being inspired by someone and what they're doing and being jealous and hating on someone or comparing yourself to someone that causes you to be in a negative energy and that blocks you from moving forward in life. Any type of negative energy, low vibrational energy, jealousy, hatred, scheming, all these other things that you're doing, it stops you from developing and becoming who you're supposed to be. There's no way in the world where I need to take time out of my life and try to compete with a car salesman. He's the best car salesman out there. And just because I like what he's doing, I confuse that with, I start to compare myself and say, you know what, I want to sell cars. It was never in my destiny. It was never in my heart or my mind or my passions. It doesn't align with who I truly am. Why should I leave my path of who I'm trying to become to try to compete with someone who's operating in their gifts? You do not do that. As soon as you take the time to step in somebody else's path, to get in their way, you are forfeiting what you're supposed to become. You can be a millionaire next week, but the reason why you can't get the $1 million is because you're looking at what someone else is doing. You know, your path, as they say, the universe, your destiny, or why you were put here on this earth. Maybe you're supposed to be a millionaire. Maybe you're supposed to be the best father. Maybe you're supposed to be a soccer league coach or a little league coach. The reason why you can't become a little league coach because every time someone passes by you, you're judging them. Look at them. Now she has that purse. She has those shoes. Who do they think they are? You can drive a Porsche, but the reason you can't drive a Porsche is because you can't pay attention to your own life long enough to go and get the money or go and meet the right people to make sure that you can upgrade your life. You're so worried about everybody else's life while your life is passing you by and you're sitting there being judgmental and being bitter. You cannot be who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be a millionaire. You're supposed to have a condo in Florida, a business in New York, and a lake house in Wisconsin. That's what you were created to have, these things, but you can't even have those things because you can't even stop staying out of people's business. You can't focus on your life long enough for these things to come into your life. You know, as soon as something is coming around the corner to enter into your life that's good, either you self-sabotage it or you step off of your path and step into someone else's path and get in their way, and that opportunity for that house just passes you by. You're not in the right place. You're in someone else's way. You need to be at the right place at the right time in your own life, operating from your own energy to fulfill what you need to fulfill for your life. And sometimes that goes back to what we're talking about, the art of starting over. So what I want you to know is that sometimes you have to start over to accomplish those things. And what is starting over? Starting over is basically rewiring your mindset, walking in authenticity. I'm gonna tell you something. You have to learn to, if you want to be selfless, you have to learn to be selfish. You cannot take your time pouring into everybody else and you're empty. So basically what I'm saying is you're going to have to get to a point where you become selfish with your energy, selfish with your time to build yourself up when you can be able to accumulate or cultivate an abundance that when you do pour into people, you still won't be empty. You will still have enough to continue to do what you want to do. There's no way in the world where you should be helping your best friend clean out some rental properties when you have some marketing to do for your vending machine company. You're burning up all your energy helping someone else fulfill their dream, and then you don't have any energy left for what you truly need to do. You need to learn how to manage your time, manage your energy. It's okay to help, but take care of you first. Take care of what the dreams you're going after first. Take care of what you're doing first. And you can do it. You can do more than one thing at the same time. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, now we're talking about the art of starting over, and we want to start with the mindset first. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, if you're going on a break, you need to take that. When you take your break, take that break and post. You know what I mean? Post, do some marketing, get yourself out there. You do not have to sit and settle for a job and pay your bills. If you like to do hair, if you like to customize shoes, take the time out to get good at that skill, build some value, in that skill set or whatever you're doing. Continue to build value, so that people, once they see your work, they would say, oh man, I know a guy that can customize shoes. We can get him to customize the shoes for our entire Little League team. Let's send him all the cleats that we bought and have him customize these cleats. You can get a big deal just off posting your work, just off putting yourself out there. You can get a big deal for a whole entire team. I knew a guy that, well, I didn't know the guy personally, but the Notre Dame football team, he was just an airbrusher. He was airbrushing different shirts, shoes, and things like that. But he actually got a contract with the NCAA or with the Notre Dame, that college, to airbrush all the helmets to make them like more realistic, like the old school version style. And that's probably the biggest deal that he probably had. Not saying he didn't make any money, he wasn't, generating any capital from his business of airbrushing, but having a deal that massive with such a prestigious school, that would change someone's life. But the thing was that he was working on his craft in the dark. And he got the connection. And what if he sold a couple airbrush shirts and the money wasn't coming fast enough, and he just gave up that store, gave up that skill set, and he didn't go through the rough patches and the valleys and terrains and the disappointments of, man, I'm not getting as many customers as I want. Business is not moving fast. I'm not getting enough money. What if he just said, you know what, this is not working, and threw his hands up? Who's to say 2 weeks later, that NCAA team was looking for someone like him, but he given up too quick, and now that opportunity just passed him by. What I'm saying is that whatever you want to do and whatever you're trying to do, you have to believe that you are capable and that you have exactly what you need to accomplish that, and it will be accomplished. Anything that you go through and you're consistent with, it will be accomplished. So we just went over the stigmas of starting over, or where that stigma comes from. Cultural pressure. People would rather you be consistently in a bad state, and they will praise you for that. Man, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on. Man, when I was living, where I was living, man, I was in a organization, which was Gangster Disciple. I still have the tattoos on me. I held rank. I've been to prison. I held rank in a prison. I was a literature coordinator. I was the EC, the exercise coordinator. Even was going to be raised to the rank to the 913, and that was like the 193. That was the assistant institution coordinator. That would be over the entire prison, or over the whole organization, over the prison, but the assistant. So with me being diligent in being a part of this organization, still remember certain parts of the creed. We believe in, our honorable chairman and all laws and policies set forth by our honorable chairman and executive staff. We believe in aiding and assisting all brothers of the struggle in righteous endeavors, utilizing knowledge, wisdom, and I remember those creeds and those commitments that I had to take to be a part of that gang or that organization that actually held rank in some of these places. So but I'm telling you, people praise me more for being consistently in a place or in a mindset that wasn't really helping me, wasn't helping my family, wasn't helping my kids. It was keeping me stuck. It was stopping me from growing. Some people will penalize you for one better for yourself, and once you break free out of some of these organizations or these mindsets, stay free. Man, no one really cares about you like you care about you. No one cares about your future like you care about your future. No one is gonna die with you. You understand what I'm saying? Once you die alone. You know what I mean? It can be 40 people on the boat and everyone drowns and everybody dies, but you still die alone. You're still gonna die alone. You're still gonna be held accountable for what you yourself done in this life. You are going to die alone. So whatever you want to do in this life, do it. Don't be afraid of what the person next to you has to say. If you're in a relationship with somebody that's beating you, move on. Just figure that, move on. If you're in a relationship with a woman that doesn't respect you as a man, everything you do is not good enough, move on. If you are in a business partnership with someone who doesn't want to to execute their end of the bargain. This isn't, it's supposed to be 50-50. You're supposed to get revenue shares. We have a revenue share of, let's say, 75-25. They're not divvying up, when it comes time for dividends or for you to get your part of the shares. There's always an excuse. They get theirs, but you don't get yours. And you're trying to avoid court. You're trying to avoid all these court costs. Get out of that contract with that company. Get out of that contract with that business partner. Get out of that, get out of that job that's not treating you. You're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You're bringing value to the place where you work, but you're not being appreciated. Start your own business. You clean, you know how to clean real good, start your cleaning business. Let somebody else that don't care about being appreciated, don't care about them not being. You need to be somewhere where you are appreciated, you're valued, and where people see what you're doing, and you deserve that as a human being and as a hard worker and as a person that has a good work ethic. Leave, start your own. Make up in your mind that I'm going to make my own money. Make up in your mind that I'm going to write business proposals for my own company. Make up in your mind that I'm going to start over. If I have to leave this job and I have to put I remember when I first started the restaurant company. It's Thompson Square Gardens Restaurant Company. We moved from Oklahoma to New York. And in doing that, it caused some complications, even with my living situations, but it was worth the risk. I took a risk. I took a risk of transitioning a company that was registered in another state to bringing it to another platform and another area of competitors that I was outnumbered with the competitors. These guys had been here for years. These people have connections. I came down here with no connections or anything, but I took a chance on what I believed in and what I wanted to establish. It's going to come to fruition. You know what I mean? It hurt my living situation, taking that chance, taking that chance on myself, taking that chance on my business. I uprooted and I came to New York, end up becoming homeless, continue to grind, continue to do things that, continue to be consistent every day despite what I went through. I took a chance on myself. It doesn't matter the situation that I'm in. What matters is my mindset. My mindset is basically that if I continue to do what I'm supposed to do, if I continue to network, if I continue to be consistent, continue to bring brand awareness to the world of what I'm trying to build, it only takes one person to say, man, I see I've been building for, let's say, 2 years. All the content from those 2 years, all the consistency from those 2 years. It can take one right person to go through a social media page and say, man, look at the food this guy's making. Look at the content this guy's making. It could be 2 years worth of content, but it only takes one person to see it and see the different facets of the business, the different departments of the business, the creativity and the consistency and the persistency of what was poured into bringing that business to life. Someone can see it, appreciate it, value it, and want to become a part of that vision. But the thing is, you have to take a chance on yourself. You cannot sit around worrying about what everyone else is doing while your life is passing you by. You're going to have to come to a point where you're going to have to take a chance on yourself. Don't wait for someone else. Do not depend on a system to get you where you need to go. You need to be proactive. It is some people that need help. It is some people that are handicapped, they need help. They can't move around or be mobile how they want to be. So we do understand those situations. But as far as if you're young, if you have a dream, if you can sit on a Facebook page or you can sit on social media, you can admire what someone else is doing and say, man, I wish I could renovate a tiny home. I can buy me a little tiny home. I can renovate it and I can, Airbnb it out. You know what I mean? People love that. It is a community full of people who love living in tiny homes. Someone that's never experienced it, they think it's cool. It's like a little dollhouse. You can buy you a little tiny home for, let's say, a tiny home kit, let's say $1,200. Put the kit together. You know what I mean? Go in there, have an interior decorator, maybe you, your wife, maybe, if your wife, your husband or whatever. You can decorate this place and you can Airbnb it out to people who's never lived in a tiny home before. They think it'll be cool to experience. They want to check it off their bucket list. It's many things that you can do to monetize your talents. You can do that, and that can bring, you may still have a job, and you may have to, keep your job, rent out the tiny home until you start to generate. You never. Someone told me this. You never leave your job until your hobby or your side hustle that you're doing that you want to turn into a business until it makes the same amount of money that you're making when you're working. But I want to tell you that whatever you need to do to move forward, create generational wealth, to establish, to not have to wait on someone else, not have to wait on someone else's paycheck, to start to create generational wealth and to establish businesses that you can hand down to your son, you can hand down to your daughter. You can, create generational wealth for your family. Start to educate yourself on stocks. Start to educate yourself on ETFs. Start to educate yourself financially so that you can make money while you sleep. Make some money while you sleep, man. You know what I mean? I don't care if you have to put $50 into Tesla. You know what I mean? And you get up every morning before you go to work. You check the stocks. I'm going to check the stocks at 6 a.m. 12, and then before the market closes at 4, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to set an alarm on my phone to check my stocks to see if my stocks went up or went down at the end of the day. If this one is doing good, if I just say it went up 30%, I'm going to pull out because it's at a high number. I'm going to pull that money out, and then I'm going to strategically put that money in other places to continue to generate revenue while I'm at work. No, the stocks are going to work for itself. Get into the vending machines. I've talked to a lady that came from India that lived in Chicago. Now she moved to New York, headed to leave Chicago. She was looking for ways to invest. One thing that I suggested is, what are you into? What's one way that's easy that you can that you feel like she didn't really know. She was just looking for some pointers. So I suggested vending. There are so many different. You do not have to go into the vending machine business sector just selling food. Do you know that you can get a clothing vending machine? Maybe you have some clothes that you make that's your own brand. You can there is a vending machine that is customized to selling clothing. Put your own brand in the vending machine and put it in the middle of the mall, on the side or somewhere. Advertise it, market it. You can sell clothes, you can sell cosmetic products. I don't care if it's from lashes to lip gloss or whatever, your own brand. You know what I mean? Maybe you make soap. Maybe you're a type of person, you got honey oat and lavender soap that you make at home by yourself. You know what I mean? You can brand that soap and you can put it in a vending machine, and you can find a vending machine that will pop that soap that's, that's tailored to making it and get it wrapped. Go somewhere to a place that wrap cars, put different wraps on cars. Give them your logo. They'll print you out a wrap, and they will wrap all your vending machines with that soap company's logo and whatever you want. If you're doing clothing, they will wrap that vending machine in your own company's brand, and you can move forward. So what I'm saying is, you have to find a way to either monetize your gifts, your skills, your talents, or you have to find a way to make some money while you're not there. You got to keep your 9-to-5 job. Get you a vending machine that sells nothing but sodas. Put it in an area there's really not any stores, but you can just say it's. I will put it in a school. Let's say an elementary school, but I would put it in the teachers' lounge. I would put it in the teacher's lounge, you know what I mean? Put different vending machines in the teacher's lounge. I would put them in, maybe people like to be healthy. I would put healthy snacks and see if I can collaborate with the gym, and we can put these healthy snacks and drinks inside of a gym somewhere. So you just have to think of strategies and ways to sell your product. But the thing is, once you get in the door, only thing you will have to do is get a card reader or something that you can connect to your phone that lets you know, okay, we're running out of Snickers, we're running out of orange soda, and it will give you real-time feedback on who's buying something, the money that's in the machine, and what you need to restock. So find ways to do that, and that way you can let the machine run itself, and you can go back to work, and then maybe on your break you may hit Costco's, or you may hit Sam's Club, and you can hit, now I hate to say this, but you can hit Sam's Club, get a bulk of honey buns, and you're spending $20 for 100 honey buns, and then you're selling the honey buns for $2 a piece in your vending machine. That's a high percentage, return ROI. You know what I mean? You have a high percentage ROI, return on investment, for whatever you're doing. Okay, the last one. The last one is the stigmas of the stigmas of starting over is the fear of judgment. A lot of people. I heard someone tell me, man, there's two types of fears. There's a fear of success, and there's a fear of failure. And I'm here to tell you, there's another fear that will not allow you to fail, and there's another fear that won't allow you to succeed, and that is the fear of judgment. Some people never want to make a mistake and be seen as a failure because they are scared how people look at them. And some people will never become successful because they're scared how people look at them. I'm going to lose all my friends. I have friends at the bottom. Everybody's going to say, who did this guy think he is? Trying to be a big businessman. They're making jokes and they're cracking jokes, but they really admire what you're doing. And so because you don't have tough skin and you want to be liked by everyone, you are scared to succeed because of the fear of judgment. Allow yourself to be judged. I'm gonna tell you right now, whether you do something right, somebody's gonna talk about you. Whether you do something wrong, somebody's gonna talk about you. You might as well get used to people talking about you. But I want you to know, if someone is talking about you, that means that you are a star. Nobody talks about a nobody because nobody wants to be known with a nobody. I'm gonna tell you something. If you have a woman and everybody is looking at her and everybody's turning their head, you should be happy. Nobody wants a nobody. You know what I mean? If you're a woman and you have a man that other women want, be happy that you have somebody. Nobody wants somebody that nobody wants. You know what I mean? Be happy that, you know what I mean, you have somebody that somebody wants. Be happy when you start a company that you have a product that everybody wants. Don't get mad or jealous or in comparison. Be happy that you possess something that people draws attention. Okay, number 2 is the truth about failure is this. The truth about failure is that it is not final. It's just feedback. The truth about failure is not final. It's just feedback, man. If I'm going towards a goal and I just say that I missed my mark, that's feedback. That means I need to bag up, I need to readjust, recalibrate, and I need to probably rebrand whatever I'm doing. I need to relaunch. I need to launch it back out there. Maybe I had a pair of shoes that I've designed, and these shoes, I put them out there. The shoes, people didn't really like the shoes. They didn't like the fabric. They didn't like the design of the shoes. And once I market these shoes and I try different ways to market these shoes, and it just comes to my attention that these shoes are just not dope. People, they're just not fire. No one likes them. What I need to do is I can keep the same name brand, but I can rebrand the shoes or recreate the shoes and relaunch the shoes after making those corrections. So once you fail at something, that failure is basically feedback. Now I'm going to tell you a story about a guy who owns a famous soda. This guy that owns this famous soda, and I'll tell you what brand it is later. The guy had 6 other sodas. Man, the dude was making soda like he was a soda king. He made one soda, it failed. He made another soda, it failed. He made 6 different sodas. The guy made 6 different sodas and they all failed. He made one more last soda. He said, man, this is the last time I'm going to make this. He just took all the information, all the data that he had from those failures and said, I'm going to make this last one. This is his 7th one. So once he made this last soda, it went, as we say in today, it went viral. Man, the soda blew up overnight. The soda was a hit. Everybody loved the soda. And you know what that soda was called? That soda was called 7-Up. 7-Up. The guy had 6 other sodas and they failed. But his 7th one that he tried, everything went up. His finances went up. His brand awareness went up. And he named that soda 7-Up because he fell down 6 times, but the 7th time he stood up in his favor. So he named that soda 7-Up. And that is the original story. You can look it up. The soda brand called 7-Up. A guy built 6 other sodas. All those sodas went down. No one liked it. The 7th time he made his 7th soda, it was up from there. So that's the creation of the soda 7-Up. A guy fell 6 times, 7th time it went up for him. So the truth about failure is that it's not final. It's just feedback. I want you to know that every great success story usually includes a major reset. Just look at failure as a reset. So usually includes a major reset. You're going to take some small losses, but there's going to come a point in time when you're going to take a big loss that's going to make you question what you're doing or if it's worth doing. Man, I've taken so many hits, lost so much money, lost so many friends, been betrayed so many times that what I'm going after, you have to take hits like that, because if you haven't hit a point in chasing after your dream where you start to question, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? If you haven't hit that point where you have to question, man, I don't know if what I'm doing here is worth doing anymore. If you haven't hit that point, then you know what I mean. You just keep going. You have to hit a point like that, because that is the test. That is the major test to see if what you want, if you really want it. And by doing that, then the earth, the universal laws has to bend to your consistency. It has to bend to your will to grant you and gift you to something that you were tested with and that you truly do want. So, this is the last thing, and this is our last. We have one more point, but I'm going to end here. I'm going to give you part 2 next Saturday. So this is the art of starting over. We're going to name it part 1. I'm going to give you part 2. Our last point would be number 3 that we'll go over in a short video. We may add one more point, 4 points, but this is the last one I'm going to give you for point number 2. I want you to know that starting over is a sign of maturity. People think when you start over, it's because you're immature. You can't be stable. You can't be consistent. That every time I see this person, they're with a new person. Now I'm not saying just go from person to person, place to place, job to job. I'm not saying that. Learn how to go through some ups and some downs with some people. Learn how to go through some ups and some downs with the company. But if you are made up in your mind of what you truly do want, what you truly do deserve, and that you're not going to back down from what you know you deserve in this life, stick with it, hold your ground, and what you deserve will come your way. People will look at you like you're arrogant because they compromise. Figure out what you want, figure out what you deserve. I don't care if it's with a job, the pay that if I work for someone, there's a certain level of pay that I deserve. I'm not just taking anything because of the bills. I'm taking what I deserve because I know that I'm an asset to that company. If I step into that company, I'll be an asset to it. If I step into that company, I'm gonna be a factor of growth in that company. So I know that about myself, and I know that I will add value. I'm not gonna step into a company and be a liability. I'm not gonna cost you more money. I'm not gonna sit around and you're just paying money, but I'm not executing the task and responsibilities that I'm supposed to. If I step into any company, if I step into any friendship, relationship, I step into any business partnership, I have a solidified guarantee that I'm going to be an asset to wherever I'm placed. So and that's set in stone. I don't have no mindset to go in and play with anybody's time, play with anybody's business. I don't have time for that. If you tell me that you need me in this area and we're going to work together, just know you better buckle up, because we're going to put some work in, and I plan on doing that. But I want you to know that starting over is maturity. Quit just going with the flow. Quit letting everybody pull you this way. Everybody's pulling on your energy. Everybody's using you. Everybody's doing. Set some boundaries and say, if I got to start over, if I got to leave this dude, if I got to leave this woman, if I have to leave this job, if I have to leave this business partnership, if I have to leave my family behind because they don't believe in me, if I have to cut my cousin off to start over and do whatever I need to do because I don't need the distraction, do it. That's maturity. Starting over is not. Everybody say, oh, what happened? We thought you guys were happy. What happened? We thought you loved your job. They are not going to understand the decisions that you make. If it's not worth it and you know what's going on with your own life and you understand what you want to do, start over. Leave them. Leave the family behind. Leave dude behind. Leave old girl behind. Leave your homeboy behind. Leave your homegirl behind. If she don't want to catch up and she don't want to be on the same, leave them behind. Leave them behind. They'll be all right. It's a whole nother group of people that want to sit there and play patty cake just like them. But if they don't want to move, they don't want to move and get with the movement, and they don't want to push you forward, motivate you, and encourage you to execute your dreams or be a part of that dream in some kind of way. Every time you come around and you have something that you want to share with a so-called friend, and they're making jokes about it. Oh, you got you another little job. You tell them about you want to start a car wash. Instead of them saying, okay, yeah, man, I think you should start a car wash. I'll help you kind of find some places that you can kind of look at. And, I don't have the money to help you, but I can at least help you to find an empty car wash or something like that. If they don't want to get with, and they're saying, well, I knew the guy up the street that had a car wash, you know what I mean? They had a car wash. You're telling me about everybody else and what they did, and I'm telling you what I'm trying to do. I'm telling you that, you know what I'm saying? You as being my friend, someone I've known for 20 years, as soon as I tell you about a big dream or goal I have, then you're telling me about what the next person did. You're telling me about what she did. You telling me about what somebody else could have did and would have did and should have did. That lets me know. Yeah, it's, no, this... Leave them behind, man. Learn how to cut ropes and leave people behind. I don't care. If you got to come back and get them, come back and get them. Some people don't even want you to come back and get them. Some people just want you to go ahead, be successful, leave them behind, and help them whenever they need help, or whatever you want to do. But make sure you take care of yourself, your own dreams, your own passions, your own goals. Leave people behind, man. It's not going to be accomplished unless you leave your brother. Cut your cousin off. Cut him off. Cut him off. Every time he don't want to get a job, but every time you get paid, he want to drink off of you. You know what I mean? Cut off. Every time she don't want to heal from the last 4 relationships, but she's bringing all that trauma into a new relationship, and then she's loading you down and draining all your energy with her problems, but she don't want to do right. Cut them off, man. Cut these people off, man. Your business partner don't want to be to work on time, but he still want to get paid. Cut him off. Get out of the contract. Learn how to cut these people off, man. They are wasting your time, wasting your energy, and then they're sitting there masking it over like they really won't help. Cut them off, man. Cut your mama off. If your mama is in your relationship, if your mama is is messing up and being messy and all in your relationship and all in your house, you know what I'm trying to run your household, cut off, man. Cut off. If your mama is trying to control your life and control your kids, cut off. If your father is all in, cut them off, man. Cut these people off, man. If they don't have any positive thing to say, if they don't have anything they want to do, or learn how to be mature enough to take constructive criticism. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that you need to do. You need to learn how to humble yourself, but do not humble yourself to the point where you become a puppet and you can't make your own decisions, and your mother is living her life through you. She wants you to raise your kids just like she raised you. You're like, man, no, I'm not gonna sit here, you know what I mean, and raise my kids in toxicity like that. I don't care. And then cut these people off, man. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Figure out how you want to raise your kids. Figure out what kind of wife you want. Figure out what kind of man you want. Figure out what kind of job or what kind of business you want. Figure out, get to yourself. Figure out what you want to do. Come together with a plan and execute. Everybody else that don't want to get with it, cut these people off. And this is the House of Business Podcast. This is your host, Caleb Thompson. This episode is called The Art of Starting Over. And this is the place where we give you the knowledge and tools to execute your dreams and visions. Now, you can catch us here for part 2. It'll be Saturday, Eastern Standard Time at 6 p.m. See you then. Peace.